let's talk about something that might feel a little uncomfortable. What if I told you the key to your financial breakthrough isn't just about praying harder? Now stick with me here, because if you've been feeling stuck, this could be the single most important financial insight you get all year.
I mean, let's be honest. You're doing all the things, right? You're praying, you're fasting, you're sowing seeds, you're declaring the word over your finances, you're putting in the spiritual work, but when you look at your bank account, something just isn't connecting. If that's you, you need to know you are absolutely not alone.
And this leads to this silent, lonely struggle, doesn't it? That pit in your stomach when an unknown number calls. Deliberately not opening your banking app because you're afraid of what you'll see. And then you lie awake at night just asking, what am I doing wrong? God, have you forgotten about me? I really need you to hear this. That feeling is not your final destination. We're about to tackle that doubt head on.
Okay, so let's get into it. What we're talking about today is a critical system correction. Because the issue isn't a lack of faith on your part, it's the framework, the system that your faith is operating in. I'm going to say that one more time, and I really want this to sink in deep. You are not the problem. All the struggle, all the anxiety, that is not a measure of your worth, and it is not a measure of your faith. The problem is your system. It's the set of habits, the thoughts, the structures, or lack thereof that you have around your money. And here's the good news. That's the part we can actually fix. And that's exactly what we're going to start doing right now.
Okay, deep breath. I know this statement can be jarring. Let me be super clear, I am not saying prayer doesn't work. Of course not. Prayer is essential. But what I am saying is that prayer by itself isn't the whole solution. Think of it this way. Faith needs a framework to flow through.
And this right here gets to the very heart of all that frustration. When we're praying for a financial breakthrough, but our actions show zero financial discipline, well, it's like praying for a huge harvest, but never actually planting any seeds or watering the ground. We're asking for a miracle while our daily habits are literally working against the very thing we're praying for.
And this is the principle we have to grab onto. God is a God of order, of systems, of principles. He's not going to pour a massive blessing into a container full of holes that can't hold it. Divine provision, you see, it flows into order. It doesn't flow into chaos.
So this brings us to a really powerful shift in how we think, an analogy that honestly, it changes everything. We've got to move from just hoping for a miracle to actively managing our resources. It's time we start talking about building pipes instead of just praying for rain.
Just look at the difference here. Praying for rain is passive. It's unpredictable. You're just waiting, hoping something happens. But building pipes, that's active. That's taking ownership. You're not waiting for a blessing to just fall out of the sky. You are intentionally, strategically creating the channels for provision to flow reliably and consistently through your life. See the difference? This puts you back in control.
So what are these pipes we're talking about? They're not some mysterious abstract thing. They're your everyday discipline. They're your habits with budgeting, whether you have them or not. It's your core mentality, how you see money. And maybe most important of all, it's your financial thinking. These are the actual structures that carry provision.
So let's just pause for a second. I want you to do a quick, honest check-in with yourself. Looking at your own life, where are the leaks in your pipes? What habits are blocking the flow? Or maybe, are there any pipes there at all? It's a tough question, but being honest right here is the first step.
All of this really boils down to a fundamental shift in your identity. You have to decide if you're going to be a steward or a consumer. And trust me, these two mindsets don't just lead to different bank accounts. They create completely different destinies.
And here it is, side by side. The world's system is all about survival and consumption. The method is to chase money, to hustle, and the motto is basically, I've got to get mine. But the kingdom system, it operates on a whole different level. The focus is stewardship and multiplication. The method isn't chasing, it's managing resources and building something. And the motto shifts from I must get mine to I must manage what belongs to the king. That changes everything.
And right here, this is the game changer. You see, in the world system, you work for money. But in the kingdom system, money works for you. It becomes a tool. It has a job. And its job is to fund your purpose, your assignment, your calling. Suddenly, money has a purpose that is so much bigger than just paying the bills. All right, so to really step into this new way of thinking, we have to tear down some of the old lies that have kept us stuck. These are those common myths that stop us from ever even starting to build our pipes.
Come on, how many of you have said this? I know I have. We say it like it's a permanent part of our personality. We wear it almost like a badge of honor, but really, it's just an excuse that keeps us from changing.
But here's the liberating truth. You are not bad with money. You are simply untrained. It's not a character flaw. It is a skill deficit. And you know what the best thing about a skill is? Any skill can be learned. This simple reframe gives you all your power back.
This is the other classic excuse, right? The ultimate procrastination tool. Oh, once I get that big promotion, or once this project pays out, then I'll finally get organized. We think a bigger income is the solution. But the truth is actually the exact opposite. You need to have management systems in place first so you're ready to handle more income when it shows up. Listen, if you can't properly manage $100, you're not going to be able to manage $100,000. Good management is what attracts more. It's not the result of it.
Okay, so we've done the hard work of clearing the ground. We've identified the real problem, we've shifted our mindset, we've busted the lies. Now it's time to build. Let's turn all this knowledge into real, concrete action. Here are your very first steps.
Here are 3 simple things you can do, starting today. First is the mirror test. This is about radical honesty. Open your bank statement and ask, forgetting all my excuses, what does this data actually say about my habits? Second, the 7-day cent audit. For just 1 week, track every single penny that leaves your account. The goal here isn't judgment, it's just pure awareness. And third, the assignment prayer. Start asking a new question. Lord, what is it that I'm called to build? This connects every financial decision to a much bigger purpose.
Look, it's entirely possible nobody ever taught you this stuff, and that's okay. There is zero shame in that. But now you know. And with this new knowledge comes a new responsibility. A responsibility to yourself, to your family, and to the assignment on your life.
So this is the question I really want to leave you with, the one I want you to think about long after this is over. When you look at your life, your habits, your mindset, your daily actions, are you actively building the pipes that will carry provision? Or are you just standing in an empty field looking up at the sky hoping for rain? Because now you know the difference, and the choice of what to do next is all yours.